This morning are Commissioners Brown Bland, Clodfelter, Hughes, McKissick, and Kimmerite. In compliance with State Government Ethics Act, I remind members of the commission of our duty to avoid conflicts of interest and inquire at this time as to whether any member of the commission has a known conflict with respect to matters coming before us this morning. Record will reflect no conflicts have been identified, so we'll proceed with public staff. Item 1.
Good morning. I'm Dustin Metz with the Energy Division. Item P1 is amended and renewed application for a certificate of public convenience necessity for a solar photovoltaic facility. Public staff recommends that the commission approve the application and issue the certificate.
Move approval of the recommendation.
It's been moved and seconded that the item be approved as recommended by the public staff. Are there questions or discussion on that motion? All right, hearing none. All in favor indicate with an eye.
Aye.
Is there anyone opposed? All right, motion carries.
Thank
Thank you, Mr. Metz. Proceed to public staff. Item 2.
Charles Junis, Director of the Public Staff Water, Sewer, and Telephone Division. Item 2, docket numbers W1341 sub 0 and W661 sub 10. Farrington Utilities LLC and Fitch Creations, Inc., doing business as Farrington Utilities, filed with the commission an application for transfer of public utility franchise and for approval of rates, seeking authority to transfer the wastewater utility system and public utility franchise serving the Farrington Village subdivision in Chatham County, North Carolina, from Fitch Creations to Farrington Utilities, a subsidiary of Fitch Creations. The public staff has reviewed the application and recommends that the commission issue the proposed order requiring customer notice and that the matter be determined without public hearing if no significant protests are received subsequent to customer notice.
Motion we approve it.
All right, it's been moved and seconded that the item be approved as recommended by the public staff. Questions or discussions? Commissioner McKissick.
Just one or two quick questions. In terms of the notice that will be provided, what will that consist of?
So the notice should be attached to that proposed order.
Okay.
It lays out the information about the transfer, the rates that it'll be transferred at, and then if there's no significant protests within 45 days of customer hearing, that the commission could decide the matter.
Very good. And one quick follow-up. I noticed that they're proposing about $4.1 million in terms of improvements, or perhaps it's even construction of a new wastewater treatment facility. And I guess the thing which I'm noticing is that you're projecting that maybe there'll be a $31.09 cost per month per customer to retire that debt. Is that correct?
So that's essentially the revenue requirement tied to that capital investment under a certain set of assumptions, basically a 50-50 cap structure and a reasonable return. It's just a projection to give an idea of what the customers are likely going to see in terms of a rate increase subsequent to that investment. But that would be subject to filing a rate case, public staff investigation, and a decision by the commission. So that's still some time off, but it is my understanding they do intend to complete. It's actually the construction of a new train to replace some of the existing infrastructure, and then they would file a rate case.
And that would be on top of the cost that they pay today.
Correct. I mean, you're going to have some cost changes and as plant continues to depreciate. So it might not be a perfect sort of pancaking, but probably fairly close.
And will any of that information be shared with existing customers when they get notification of the hearing, or because I mean, it really looks like a interested party transaction, changing ownership from one entity to the next, which is separate, but basically sounds like it's controlled by the same people.
Yeah, so that information is included in the customer notice, which is Appendix A.
Very good. Thank you. No further questions.
All right, any additional questions? All right, all in favor indicate with an eye. Is there anyone opposed? All right, motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Junis.
All right.
All right, proceeding now to public staff item 3.
Yep, I'm on board for that too. So Item 3, Carolina Water Service, Inc. of North Carolina filed with the commission an application for determination of fair value of utility assets pursuant to North Carolina General Statute 62-133.1A and establishing rate base for acquisition of the Carteret County Water System in docket number W354, sub 398. Carolina Water also filed an application for a certificate of public convenience and necessity and for approval of rates to provide water utility service to the Carteret County Water System in Carteret County, North Carolina, in docket number W354 sub 399. The fair value application is the first of its kind and is not a simple single issue. An associated CPCN application will be to some degree dependent on the outcome of the fair value proceeding. Therefore, the public staff requests continued thoughtful consideration and determination of hearing dates and deadlines by the commission. Given the unprecedented press of business, including the company's own multi-year rate case, a few extra days here and there would be beneficial to all parties involved without materially delaying the outcome of the proceedings. The public staff has reviewed the applications and recommends that the commission issue the proposed order, scheduling a joint public hearing and separate evidentiary hearings, establishing discovery guidelines, and requiring customer notice.
Move approval of the recommendation.
All right, it's moved and seconded that the item be approved as recommended by public staff. Questions or discussion on the motion? All right, hearing none, all in favor indicate with an eye. Is there anyone opposed? All right, motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you
Mr.
very
Jones.
much.
All right, Mr. Franklin, I see you approaching. We'll proceed now to public staff item 4.
Yes, good morning, Commissioners. Mike Franklin, Engineer, Public Staff, Water, Sewer, and Telephone Division. On June 8th, 2022, West Springdale LLC, doing business as Springdale Water and Sewer LLC, filed an application with the Commission seeking authority to increase its rates for providing water and wastewater utility services to the Springdale State Subdivision and Springdale Country Club in Haywood County. On June 29, 2022, the Commission issued an order establishing a general rate case and suspending rates. A proposed order has been provided, scheduling hearings, establishing discovery guidelines, and requiring customer notice, and it is recommended that the Commission issue the proposed order.
Move approval of the recommendation.
All right, it's been moved and seconded that the item be approved as recommended by the public staff. Questions or discussion? All right, hearing none, all in favor indicate with an eye. Is there anyone opposed? All right, motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Franklin. All right, Commission has before us for approval our minutes of the from the September 6th, 2022 staff conference. Question, discussion on those minutes or on the motion? All right, all in favor indicate with an eye. Is there anyone opposed? All right, our minutes are approved. All right, just checking in. Any business for the commission this morning before we adjourn? All right, I'm not seeing any, so we will be adjourned. Thank you very much, everybody. Let's go off the record, please.